I'm attacked by COVID in first wave. When I'm in the hospital, I used this meditation technique to increase my oxygen levels from 82 to 98. Surprisingly, it increased within 2 days and they got the confidence.
I got chest tuberculosis. Coincidentally, Patriji happened to come to Bombay and he taught me meditation and he told me that you can heal your TB without any medicine. You don't need to depend on a doctor. But the root cause is your grief, your anxiety, your insecurities. Then he told me if you meditate for 40 days every day, you can heal yourself completely. And then I started meditating every day and I got so hooked on to meditation. When I got my X-ray done, the doctor said the TB is completely gone.
I was wired to actually expect quick results. So I was not mature enough to think of meditation as a journey that requires practice and patience to really see the benefits. Personally, I was able to lower my stress and I've been getting good night's sleep. I'm more self-aware. Now I can respond more and react less.
Good evening, friends. Happy morning and afternoon, those joining from the West. Nothing happens by chance. There are no accidents. Something that I deeply recognized and understood since I came into the practice of meditation. Everything has a purpose. Of course, I didn't recognize it. When I joined this program about 2.5 years, 3 years ago, Buddha Siyakwanda Foundation did a program in Cognizant where I was working. I did this by chance. At that point in time, I was not looking for anything, but then I happened to come across this email and I attended for just one day, thinking it's just one day, and I was curious about meditation and in the corporate world. But then when I saw Chandra talking and a corporate executive speaking about meditation and how he transformed himself, how he manifested his business goal through meditation, I became curious. And at the end of 40 days, there was this deep curiosity and desire to know more, understand that whatever that I had learned so far or experienced so far through my career, my life, it was so little. So with the understanding that I needed to learn more, I got associated, I deeply got associated with Buddha Siyakwanda Foundation. And over the next period of time, I deeply practiced intense meditation and read many books. Read and listened to more than 100, 150 books. And at that point in time, it stuck. And I got involved, started teaching meditation to my team, and then through Buddha Siyakwanda Foundation, I started teaching, getting involved in various activities of the foundation. And then it stuck. What I thought was by accident that I got into this program, there was always a deep desire within me to contribute. And that when I say contribute, for me it was, I did not want to contribute just money to any organization. I wanted to do something where I was fully involved. And I realized Buddha's Quantum Foundation was that vehicle. It's not by accident, but it was my purpose. I always wanted, desired, but I always thought that I could not do anything physically because I was busy. And I just did not want to contribute money just for the sake of contributing. So this desire for me to learn more eventually translated to me getting fully involved in the activities of the foundation. Friends, everybody has a purpose. And Buddha's Quantum Foundation, again, is a purpose that came out of Chandra's deep experience, understanding from teachings of Brahmarshi Patriji, his teacher, and his corporate life experience. Understanding that meditation is for everybody. I thought meditation is only for somebody who has nothing to do. And I experienced myself in my work life and my family life and everything else. I realized it is for everybody. So Buddha's Quantum Foundation was a vision, the purpose of Chandra, Lawrence Stewart Jolie, and Vani Madam. It is their experience, their desire, and that became a platform for me and many volunteers. So we all realized the foundation, the principles under which this foundation teaches meditation is scientific. I understood that there is science behind meditation. It is not related to any religion. It is not related to any cult. It is not related to any individual. When we teach from masters from both East and West, because end of the day, the truth is one. The foundation, I became very excited to be associated, and over the last 2 years, seeing so many people getting transformed, these stories, these inspirational stories that we hear, it has motivated and continued to keep us engaged in this mission. The foundation, the goal of the foundation is to spread the meditation to the corporates, to the government, to NGOs, to leaders and employees. We recognize that when leaders in the corporate world gets transformed, they can influence their communities, the people around us. We want everybody to meditate because that translates to benefits to everybody. You can give money to somebody once. That will help them only that point in time. You can give food, you can give some money, some clothes, whatever, right? You can contribute, that will help them only once. But with meditation, you actually empower everybody. The foundation focuses on teaching meditation to the corporate and government and NGOs, because many corporate leaders also back these NGOs, and it supports everybody. We also do programs for youth and graduating youth who are just getting into the careers, the corporate life. Because at that point in time, when they get transformed, they look at things completely differently. We have done, over the last 2 years, we have done several such programs. We have done both online and offline programs for corporates, for colleges. We publish scientific wisdom through magazines, quarterly magazines. We've also published books where many participants, many of the Buddha CEO participants have shared their transformational journey. We believe meditation has the ability for transform each and every one. And I'm sure all of you who are here have not come by accident. So friends, love to have this journey shared with everybody. We want each one of us, we influence many others. Through this platform of Buddha CEO Quantum Foundation, meditation to be reached to everybody. We've done about a week of this program. We've learned concepts about science of meditation. And over the next 5 weeks, we'll learn how meditation helps in different aspects of life, like health, emotional intelligence, how we build our relationships, better relationships at work, at home, in our personal lives, how we can manifest our own goals. So we'll cover each of these in the coming days. So I encourage everybody to continue to share. Who is interested, we always have the videos of the past sessions in our YouTube live channel. You can always review them. It will help, because sometimes, the first time when you listen, not everything goes in. For those new who come in, they can always refer to it. So we encourage, we want everybody to share this, because we are deeply satisfied. I'm personally realized that my purpose is, I'm living my purpose. So friends, let's practice meditation again today. We will quickly understand a bit from this video. Yes, Swati, just go ahead and play the video about more of the foundation, and then we'll play the we'll do the meditation. Yes, Swati, go ahead.
Buddha CEO Quantum Foundation, a non-profit public spiritual trust, is founded and managed by successful corporate leaders. Inspired by the Grand Meditation Master Brahmarshi Patriji and mentored by Padma Shri D.R. Karthikeyan, Dr. S.V. Balasubramaniam and Padma Shri Dr. R.V. Ramani.
We are all here to celebrate the grand functioning of in establishing of a full-fledged office here in Bengaluru. It is total manifestation. Whatever you think, it will happen.
The foundation is operating globally with volunteers and participants across several countries.
Meditation is a process to gain whatever that we can dream about and to remove any limitations that we're setting on ourselves which stops us from realizing that dream.
The vision of the foundation is to build leaders who are meditative, compassionate and purpose-driven for a harmonious and fulfilling life. With a mission to empower organizational leaders, entrepreneurs and students with scientific meditation wisdom, the foundation has been carrying out 3 types of activities: teaching meditation, publishing meditation wisdom, and building global communities. As of March 2022, the foundation conducted 136 programs with 3,000 plus hours of content and positively enhanced the lives of 75,000 people directly and many thousands indirectly with the breath mindfulness meditation practice. The flagship 40-day program is a free online program for leaders and employees. Spiritual scientific wisdom about meditation, physical and emotional health, relationships and manifestations are taught in this program. Other programs include 21 Day for Youth, Multi-Day Manifestation, Intensive Meditations, Saturday Master Classes, Full Moon Night Meditations and Sunday Long Meditations. Spiritual scientific wisdom means we are energy and are all interconnected. We create our own reality. The world has abundance for all. The foundation runs 2 YouTube channels containing hundreds of testimonials, wisdom and guided meditations. It publishes a corporate meditation magazine called Buddha CEO and distributed thousands of copies to its members and several CXOs. The foundation published 2 books on meditation, namely Patriji Answers and The Miracles of Meditation, to inspire many more.
Finally, I have this in my hand, manifestation, a dream manifestation in black and white, the concept of a Buddha CEO.
It's a great job, Chandra. Buddha CEO is not just teaching meditation and also giving lot of information about meditation and how to lead the life.
The foundation also created meditation courses on the online Udemy platform to support self-paced learning.
Meditation is miraculous. So meditation is the only method by which we can make individuals responsible.
During 2022, Buddha CEOs worldwide across 20 cities in the Middle East, UK, USA and India organized several in-person workshops by Masters Chandra and Vani, strengthening the foundation's global presence.
Meditation has been the ultimate medicine for all the problems. It's a permanent medicine. If you take medicine, it will only helpful for a short time. But meditation is going to be a lifelong medicine.
The foundation relies on the active support of the participants, volunteers and trustees and expresses deep gratitude to them. The foundation has done great work in its first 2 years of operations, causing significant healing, life transformations, self-empowerment and growth in thousands of individuals and a few organizations.
For this Buddha CEO Quantum Foundation, we should have a tagline, Yogaha Karmasu Kaushalam. Yoga is meditation, Karma is action, Kaushalam is efficiency.
It is very grateful to Brahmarshi Patriji and Swarnamala Patriji and its mentors. The team at Buddha CEO thanks all participants for their active support and invites everyone to join this noble mission.
Yes. mission, we are really grateful, deeply grateful to everybody, participants, volunteers, because everybody's desire, as I said, there's nothing accident. Everybody is desire to learn, to contribute, is making this happen. So friends, let's get into our meditation. Again, for those who are new, the technique is very simple. It is breath mindfulness meditation. Okay? Yes. Technique is very simple. You sit comfortably, either on a chair or on the floor. Cross your fingers. Close your eyes and observe your natural breath going in and coming out. And in this process, as you observe your breath, your thoughts gets reduced and you go into the emptiness state. When you get thoughts is natural. When you recognize you are getting thoughts, you bring back your attention back to the breath. Before that, we do what is called as heart elevation, just a short segment where we bring our attention to the heart. Can you place your hand and bring your attention to your heart and bring up any of those elevated emotions like love, gratitude, compassion. And you can do this by bringing up any of your past events where you felt these emotions. In the first few minutes, again, the guidance will help. And next, we go into the breath mindfulness meditation. All right, friends, relax. Close your eyes. And scan your body and feel the entire body relax.
Dear friends, dear masters, with your eyes closed, specs removed, keep your hands on your chest area. Rest your attention on your sacred heart. With your attention on your sacred heart, can you feel your beautiful heart? Feel the seat of all emotion. Which is nurturing all life with its emotions of love, joy, gratitude, compassion. Come on, friends, I want you to connect with your heart center. Feel it, the beat, the rhythm of it. And recollect an experience, a memory from your past or present, where you felt enormous love, joy, gratitude, compassion. Recollect that moment of love, joy, gratitude, and relive that moment and elevate yourself. Relive that moment and feel that energy inside your beautiful heart. The more we experience love, joy, gratitude, the more we become coherent. We are all deeply interconnected. Deep inside, we are specks of energy, intricately connected with each other. The more you experience love, joy, gratitude, the more you find that connection. Relive that moment and feel that energy. And allow yourself to radiate that energy onto every corner of this planet Earth to heal yourself, to heal the planet. Where your attention goes, there your energy flows. Heal. Become aware of that emptiness inside of you, all around you. yourself. To experience that emptiness where there's no body, where there's no thing, in no place and no time. You become aware of the infinite depth of that emptiness spreading far and wide. Emptiness is energy. This is a quantum field of energy with unlimited possibilities and opportunities. The longer you stay aware of this field, the more you become of it and the more you receive from it. stay aware of this emptiness, that energy, the field of unlimited, the field of unpredictable. The longer you stay connected into this emptiness, this void, this blackness, that light, as no body, the more open you become. If you find yourself distracted in thought, go back to observing your breath and allow yourself to find that emptiness all around. Friends, let's express gratitude. Gratitude is the highest state of receivership. Can you express gratitude to your parents for giving us this beautiful connection into this universe? Be grateful to your teachers and mentors for expanding our wisdom and knowledge. Your gratitude to your family, your friends, your colleagues, relatives, everybody in your life for allowing us to learn so many things. Give thanks to this grand nature, the bird, the fish and the animals, for filling our lives with beauty, energy, mystery and more. Your gratitude to everything you use the technology, the system, the government, the companies that support our life in many, many ways. Of gratitude to yourself for caring for you and caring for others, and gratitude to this intelligent quantum field for allowing us to experience so much more in this life. Relax your body. Feel your body. And let the autonomous nervous system repair the body as you relax. Recollect your experiences from the session. How did you feel? What did you see? What have you experienced? And whenever you're ready, you can keep your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds, and then you may open your eyes.
Hey friends, hope you had a great session. Today is Saturday and we invite business leaders to share their experience, how meditation helped them. And I'm extremely happy to invite somebody who I have known for some time. I've worked with him and I deeply respect. Sai Pasagar is an accomplished technology business leader with over 30 years of experience in the IT industry. More importantly, he's been practicing meditation for more than 20 years. He held the position of Vice President Digital Engineering, Cognizant, and he was instrumental in establishing many technology practices there. He's played many roles as a developer, architect, business leader across all over the world. He holds a computer science graduate degree and he's PhD in international business. Having gone through transformational experience in his life and both personal and professional career, he's chosen to spread the magic of meditation and is a managing trustee of Pyramid Valley International. I'm deeply honored to welcome you to this session. Over to you.
Thank you, Rakesh. Good morning, everyone. Good evening, everyone. from different parts of the world. So it's been a pleasure to share my experience, talk about my learnings on this platform. I did one today in the morning session, and now again, we'll talk about my experience and some learnings. Yeah, as I said, I think more than all those qualifications, I would like to be known as Chandra's friend, and of course, great colleague of Rakesh at CTS Cognizant. So I pretty much got into meditation 20 years ago, primarily through Chandra. In this form of meditation, though I was doing meditation earlier. So my first brush with meditation was while I was working in Noida, near Delhi, my first job from 1990 to 96. So that's when I learned and started practicing transcendental meditation. There was like 20 minutes of concentration meditation every day. So I was continued to do that, and it was on and off. And subsequently after that, I moved to the US along with my family to work at Microsoft writing compilers. And that is where, during that stint in the US, in Seattle, I got to know Chandra through a common friend. And initially, though he was still aligned, I mean, his brother GK was very vociferously encouraging or motivating or driving people to meditation. But the real plunge into Ana-Pana-Sati Meditation, PSSM, happened after we returned back to India for family reasons around 2003. Chandra and family returned a year earlier. So that is when I started practicing Ana-Pana-Sati meditation, got introduced to Brahmarshi Patriji, started doing a lot of work in PSSM. At that time, again, I switched jobs. I moved and joined Cognizant, which was a medium-sized company at that time in 2003. And so we started doing some work for PSSM, doing the websites, coming from a technology background, started doing the website for PSS movement at that time. So all those years, as we all talk about the sessions, everyday practice of meditation. I used to do everyday practice of meditation 1 hour every day in the morning. And of course, Chandra used to pull us into a lot of this group meditation sessions, which used to happen whenever Patriji, we used to visit Bangalore, and we used to go join those meditation sessions. But throughout those meditation sessions, throughout those daily meditations, I was always bothered with thoughts, and which is not new for most of you. I think I keep hearing that during my Pyramid Valley sessions as well. So for close to 5 to 6 years, I was always preoccupied with thoughts, with some subtle moments of silence, probably during the sitting meditation. And when I used to attend the group meditation sessions, at the end of the group meditation, a lot of people share their experiences. And so I always used to wonder, how come I don't have those meditation experiences? How come I don't have that calmness yet? But this continued for a long time. I mean, 7 to 8 years. Right now, I'm okay. But initial few years was always wrestling with thoughts. I was trying to figure out what are the methods. I tried different kinds of music at that time. Some of you might have heard about binaural music. So tried those different techniques to try and reduce my thoughts, try and get into that deeper state. While this was happening, one fine day at work, as I was walking through the corridor in one of my offices, along with my friends, just got up from my office, just walking through the corridor. We are going to the cafeteria to have lunch. And as I was walking through the corridor, I suddenly felt that moment of clarity, absolute moment of clarity, absolutely no thoughts. Everything was so vivid, so clear. And I believe, that's what was kind of in complete presence at that particular time. I was able to hear everything that my colleagues were saying. Prior to that, We walk that corridor a million times prior to that. We keep talking to people, right? But every time someone keeps talking, we always have tons of thoughts in our mind, in our brain, right? So I call myself ET, excessive thinker. Always thoughts. When someone approaches me to talk, or when I am supposed to go in and talk to somebody, it's always thoughts. What will people think of me? What will people judge of me? I should be right. I should be talking the right thing when I talk to my superiors. I should be talking the right thing when I talk with my colleagues, my peers. I should be talking the right thing to my subordinates. I should be the right example. So there's always that qualification, pre-qualification before you talk, before you talk, before you utter a word. And meetings used to be like a pain, right? Every time there was a status meeting, we used to have this weekly status update. So you go in, and this was even at Microsoft. So you go in prepared with, okay, these are the 5 things I need to tell, right? You rehearse in your mind and then go in and talk. But then someone asks you a question and you are not really prepared, right? So you kind of struggle and then put to the answer. You then later, you come out of the meeting and beat yourself. Oh my God, I should have told that point. I should have told this, I should have told that, right? So this used to be the state. But then after this incident occurred, or around this incident, then I started noticing how calmer my mind was in those meetings, right? So like I mentioned, after that moment of clarity, moment of peace that I experienced around that time, the meeting started becoming a lot more spontaneous, right? I didn't have to prepare myself for telling this, right? I know, though we do prepare, these are the points that we need to talk about. So you go into a meeting and then you tell that if someone asks you a question, your mind is not preoccupied with thoughts. Your mind is not preoccupied with doubts or fears, right? So you are able to talk more spontaneously. So this is what, in fact, the clarity in communication started happening. And that was one of the most important things. I mean, all of us know in a corporate world, right? So you need to be able to convince people, convince clients, make sure you form a team, make sure you inspire your team. So all that is through communication. And that was one of my biggest factors for success in Cognizant, going through a very rapid and accelerated career ladder. And then this translated into several things, right? I mean, very clearer client meetings, very clearer communication, very clearer productivity improved. I would say that's the right word. Productivity improved, both my personal productivity as well as my team's productivity. So you're very clear. You don't do things just for the sake of doing. So that was one of the biggest factors that some of you might be feeling as you kind of feel the side effects of meditation, the positive side effects of meditation in your corporate world. The second thing that happened as things grew by was I was able to listen to my intuition. Later, I came to know that it was more the intuition, the spontaneity with which I used to respond. So that intuition started working a lot better. Suddenly, sometimes you're always in a mode to decide this or that, right? It could be and some of you are from a corporate world, you would know estimation process, planning process, right? It's always a game of, I would say it's basically like a throw of dice, right? So intuition starts happening. So there were at least a couple of meetings where during later stages of my career where I was a decision maker. I was able to, in fact, there was a meeting where it was a wonderful deal for us to win. And the team put together the entire financials. Okay, this is going to be the cost, this is going to be the profitability, and this is what it is going to be. And there was almost the penultimate discussion with the client, where we were presenting and things like that. So they were asking us questions. We were asking them questions on how it is going to work. So a lot of dependencies. So for some reason in that particular meeting, I did not feel comfortable going ahead with the commercials. And thankfully, later it turned out. So thankfully, we said we are not doing this deal. And obviously, when we tell the customer, we tell it in a more positive. We said we are not doing this deal and walked away. All my, of course, I went and convinced my boss, but then all my colleagues and peers, they were kind of thinking, what the hell happened, right? I mean, obviously, everyone has targets and things like that. But fortunately, within a couple of weeks, there was another competitor which landed this deal. They were running through a rough patch. they had to do a lot of things where profitability was completely negative for them. So in this case, again, that feeling, all of us, I'm sure Chandra has covered this in his earlier sessions, and you'll cover this in this session as well. As our mind calms down, we start feeling a sense, right? I mean, we start feeling our intuitive signals a lot more. Even today, a lot of it will be happening to all of us. Intuition, the inner voice, as well as the synchronicities that happen from outside. Only thing is we are not as aware. But when my meditation kicked in, when my mind started calming down, I was being aware of all these. And more importantly, one of the factors that is very important in intuition is trusting your intuition, trusting your inner voice. Right? More often we get this sense that I don't know whether it's a mind play or my feeling. Right? So you'll have to trust it. So easily you'll be able to decipher at that point of time, if it is logical, if there is a reason for it to be happening, then it is more mind play. But if it suddenly happens out of nowhere, this is my learning. So it suddenly happens out of nowhere, then it is more about it's an intuition, right? You need to trust it, and obviously there are some constraints and some reason for how you trust your intuition. So as my trust with intuition increased, things started happening a lot more. So after that, I did not need to worry about something. This is what needs to happen. We need to present it to this customer. We need to. In fact, I always relate this story. In the interest of time, I'll probably talk about it much sooner. Right. So there was this customer meeting for an insurance customer in the US. Like typical corporates, we went into that meeting with a load full of slides, completely reviewed by the boss, reviewed by the colleagues, reviewed by the communications department. This is what you need to speak. But once you get in there, the account manager tells this is a tough client, someone that we could not please for the last several months. We cannot win over for the last several months. So I said, okay, and then walk into that meeting. It's an hour and a half meeting. And then like always, we ask, okay, so this is what we are planning to present. This is the agenda for the meeting. And is there something else that you want to listen? And he immediately opened up and said, here is a problem that we are facing. We have a legacy system, but you guys are talking about some new technology. I am more worried about how the security aspects, right, the performance aspects and things like that. So whatever the client asked, we didn't have in our slides. So I just walked to the whiteboard. I don't know what happened after that. After an hour and a half, so I closed the meeting. And I asked them, is this what you need? There were absolutely no questions. There were probably a few clarifying questions, but absolutely nothing unpleasant. And the client said, yes, this is exactly what we wanted to hear from your team. We've been wanting to hear this for the last few months. And this is the first time we are hearing from your side. Right. So I said, thank you. And then stepped out. And then after a while, the account manager carried the feedback that the client was extremely impressed. And he was exactly waiting. So I came to know that the client was very hard to please. Every time he used to interrupt meetings, right? In my case, not many interruptions. Sometimes you get a sense, right? When you're presenting, when you're doing a class, when no one asks a question, sometimes you get it, you're doubtful. Oh, am I really making sense? Why are no one asking any questions? Right. So that was my feeling. But anyway, so we walked through. But the good thing is, yeah, we landed the business subsequently, and he trusted us and gave us the business. So the reason I'm always quote this example is what happened during the presentation was totally non-logical, non-planned, unplanned, right? But it happened. How did it happen? Though the technical details I knew, but the sequence, the questions and all that stuff, it was completely, when later I come to know it's called flow. You are in flow when your mind is calm, right? Prior to meditation, a couple of years before learning meditation, if I had been in the same scenario, I would have absolutely freaked out. I would have been tensed. Oh my God, I don't have the slides for this. How am I going to do it? Right? That I would have probably done the same thing that some other folks would have done, and that resulted in incorrect meetings. So one of the things is, once we start trusting ourselves, once we start hearing your inner voice, right? I mean, we all know we are all connected. There is oneness out there. then the universe starts responding. We call it one mind, you call it God, you call it universal consciousness, you call it superconscious mind, whatever it is. So it starts responding. It starts acting, responding to your call, right? And the only thing that we need to do is we shouldn't be allowing our mind to interfere. The moment we start allowing your mind to interfere, then it is a total, we are stuck with the material world, right? So basically, we start acting out of our subconscious or pre-programmed mind. Once we stop aligning with our subconscious mind, we allow our superconscious to flow. So there were many, many instances. Every time I had a question, I had a doubt, both in life, in some decision making, as well as at work. So either sometimes the spontaneous answers come in, but more often than 90% of the time, I always used to get answers through books or emails, right? I mean, I obviously subscribe to a lot of newsletters, and anytime I have a question in mind, for some reason, my hand goes to a lot of emails. I just open one email and there is a book mentioned there, or there's some concept mentioned there. Or I happen to learn, you search something and you happen to learn in a website, there is a book reference there. I immediately go either buy it or get a Kindle version of it, read through it, and I find my answer. Or the answer is in that particular email. Right? It's so spontaneous. I mean, it's happened hundreds of times, it happens even till date. So that is the kind of source where the universe is trying to speak to you, because I'm more that kind of a person who always works with the computer. Right, so that is the way things get communicated to me, and it's always even today, even the last few years, as I do my service work at Pyramid Valley. Some of you will be aware, managing trustee of Pyramid Valley. There are a lot of situations where donations come in when we are in real need of it. So there is the sense of worry disappears, right? So we have the trust. Okay, it will come. Let's continue doing it. Right, we do big events like the Buddha Purnima event in May. So it involves a lot of expenses, a lot of donation. But when we start off, there's nothing. And then we slowly build up. And then we said, I tell the team, my team always used to come back and say, oh, Sai, you asked us to do this, you asked us to do that, but where are the funds going to come? My only question is, see, we need to do this. If we need to accommodate 10,000 people, we need to do that. Right, so let us go ahead and do what is needed, and then things will happen. We'll see after that. Right, and then automatically things happen that way. So one last interesting example that I want to quote, where synchronicities really happen when you are open. Right, there was this customer in UK, in London. So in fact, the place where I really met Rakesh was while he was working in London several years ago. And again, he was doing a very difficult job of convincing customers on a upcoming or modern cloud technology in an industry that is more laid back, not adopting new technologies. Right? He was doing a fantastic job there. I was surprised to see the level of immaturity of new technologies and then our exposure to new technologies, whereas our team, including Rakesh, was doing a fantastic job trying to convince the customer. Again, the same calmness, nothing to worry, because he was trusting the intelligence. I mean, if things happen, so be it. If things don't happen, so be it. Right? So, right, I would okay, I'll come to this thing later. So this incident where we were supposed to do a demonstration of a new technology to a customer to win a business. This happened to a London in a UK key energy customer. So our team was all working on the demonstration for probably almost a week. The demonstration was part of the process. We are supposed to present the demonstration the subsequent morning, and then till that night, our team couldn't crack the demo. And we just we're not able to solve it. And last minute, you know what happens, right? We make calls to India, we do a lot of stuff. It didn't happen. And people came and told me this is what is happening. So I didn't have any other option. Right? What could I do? I mean, I was thankfully I was not the usual boss who kind of screams, shouts, and all this stuff. So I said, okay, so be it. I mean, I just trusted the team. Whatever happens, happens. If nothing happens tomorrow, we'll have to go cut a sorry figure to the customer, and I was supposed to do that. So I was prepared for it. And morning towards the night, you keep waking up and making calls. What happened? Kind of thing. So the situation persisted. But in the morning, when I opened my email, I was so blessed to find an email from the customer saying that the key stakeholder was supposed to review the demonstration that morning, had to step out due to a family emergency. And so that particular meeting got moved. They were going to schedule a later date. So that meeting happened 4 days after the scheduled date, by which time our team was fortunately cracked the demo. So it helped. Right. So it was not like, okay, I really intended, oh my God, what say me and all that. Right. We were prepared for what we need to do. But there was this coincidence that happened. There was a synchronistic coincidence, meaningful coincidence that happened. Usually, most of the meetings do not. I mean, Rakesh and a lot of you in the US know, right? So it doesn't happen that way. Meetings don't get moved just because one person. In this case, because he was a critical stakeholder, probably it moved. I mean, for whatever reason, I just thanked and then moved on. So things like this start happening. And then even now, I've been doing my consulting business the last 1 year, 1.5 years. Today, my biggest priority is making sure I'm in control of my time. Thankfully, I'm able to afford that, right? So I do my consulting business, and I never worry about, okay, this consulting engagement is going to end. What am I going to do next? Thankfully, around the time a consulting engagement gets to end, within a couple of weeks, at least a couple of weeks prior to that, I start getting contacts. People start pinging me, okay, Sai, can you do this? Sai, can you do that? Right? And then it happens. I don't need to worry about it. So the flow continues to happen. I allow the flow to happen. And thankfully, I'm always in a position to choose what should I be doing next. And that is, again, all because I allow things to happen, right? Even with my teams, I allow things to happen. I don't prevent. Someone comes with an idea, we allow things to happen. So in a corporate world, it does really matter for our minds to be empty. And invariably, thanks to or no thanks to all the education, all the societal programming, our mind is full of chatter as we get into those meetings, meet new people, go to new places. There is an element of fear, there's an element of doubt, there is an element of anxiety, and all that gets silenced as we continue doing the process of meditation. So it was more about confusion. Earlier, it used to be confusion. Am I doing right? What will people think of me? Is it the right decision? Am I going to let down my team? Am I going to let down my company? Am I going to let down my family? It always happens, right? But slowly the shift happens where those doubts, those questions vanish and things start becoming clearer. Things again don't start becoming clearer from a if, then, what else, rational set, right? Whatever is happening is for the right thing, right? Even if you don't get a business, you don't get something, maybe it's for the right thing. And as long as we trust the process, things start becoming clearer. The path keeps opening up, and you get to do what you're supposed to do, right? And in any corporate role or even a nonprofit role like I'm doing right now at Pyramid Valley, we just need to be present. We just need to be there. We just need to show up and allow the energy to flow, allow the creative energy to flow as we go along. And that has been my biggest takeaway from my meditation process. So I continue to do the meditation every day, 1 hour. In fact, when I used to travel as well, I do it in the cabs. And sometimes early morning, you do have the viewers calls in the cab. I do it in the flight. No, there's no disturbances. So you just sit, clasp your hand, just observe your breath. And later, as I continue to read a lot of books, I was, again, because of my excessive thinking and logical brain, logical minded, I always used to question how this works. Patriji used to say, just sit, close your eyes, meditate, everything will happen. For every question, he had the same answer. And I was thinking, how does it work? Why does it work? Right? And then as we continue to read the books, as we continue to experience things, a lot of science behind it. And I know Chandra covers a lot of those science in these sessions. A lot of science, a lot of books by Joe Dispenza, a lot of books by David Hawkins, a lot of other books that talk about the science. How does, for example, the brain waves, right? Why did it calm down? So you will hear about the beta waves, the beta frequency, alpha, theta. That's exactly what happens. When I said my mind calmed down, My mind calmed down from high beta to beta, then probably to alpha. When we close our eyes, that's what happens. And it continues. I never had any mystical experiences in meditation. I never had any insights pretty much during meditation, but most of it was happening during the day, during my job, during my work, right? And that is because of my 1 hour of sitting, regular 1 hour sitting meditation, where you probably tune the brain. Like I always keep saying, that is my net practice for me to play the game, play the corporate game, play the family game during the rest of the day. And that practice needs to continue, right? Irrespective of, it's like a skill. Like a lot of us who probably practice a sport, who practice art, right? Singing, everyday practice is a must. And that's exactly what we are practicing, the skill of silencing our mind every day. And then that translates to whatever happens during the day. So with that, my dear friends, I know it's pretty late. So thanks for the platform. I just want to share my experience. I hope it was helpful. Thanks, Rakesh and team, Chandra and team, for this opportunity to share my experience and my learnings.
Thank you, Sai. As always, very, very inspirational. You keep it so simple. Everything that is explained so in such a simple language, and we can all relate. Thank you for this. I'm sure all of us have learned and understood and been able to relate and practice them.
Yes, thank you.
So friends, I know we've gone beyond, but I think there is still value. I can stay for a couple of minutes, few minutes. Anybody has any questions, do raise your hands. We will stay, but those of you who wants to leave, you feel free to leave the session. Okay. Yes, Arjun, Mr. Arjun. Unmute yourself. Ajul, Sika, you can unmute yourself.
Deshkesh, I just wanted to ask you one thing that you related to your success in business. But don't you think meditation was supposed to be spiritual exercise to contact to your inner being and spirit rather than just outside success? Means what you are saying that this thing happened, that is because the universe is accepting the power of surrender. And the power of surrender is more important and most powerful force in the universe. Power of surrender can move things to a very large extent, and that thing is happening with you. And I think you have mixed the Dhyana Yoga and the power of surrender. The two things have got mixed. Is that correct?
Yeah, so yeah, you're right, madam. So basically, I surrendered to the flow, right? I surrendered to the divinity in me. Prior to this, my mind was always occupied. My ego was in operation, right? My pre-programmed self was in operation. So I was thinking, oh, what will other people think about me? Whatever, all that, right? But then once I stopped having those thoughts, obviously I surrendered to the flow, right? I didn't influence, this is how things to happen. It started happening. So you're right. It is kind of a surrender is one perspective, yes. Thank you.
Yes. Arjun, you want to unmute yourself? Mr. D.P. Sharma, go ahead.
Master, I'm from the Noida, for which you made the reference of your 2 decades back. My question, because I'm a senior citizen gone through, but from your, this is I have learned, if we synchronizing ourselves through breath, the everything is a byproduct, I think. If we make our habit, like, we take other, and synchronizing with the, we can say universe or nature, then the universe will take care, and that you started a thought process. I'm also from that category, because I'm a retired, investigating officer from the government of India. The thought process was already there when we are reading to the mafias, etc. The thought process, but because of incidentally, you initially we have not come accidental by the program. So I regret, because I had traveled Bangalore, Hyderabad, I was not aware of it. But incidentally, and I'm thankful, grateful to you people and Patriji, and very, really doing a marvelous job. So I have learned to make it a habit, meditation, at least you say 1 minute a day, so at least I should do at least 60 minutes there. And then if you're synchronizing, connecting with the nature, nature will take it is a byproduct, everything, this unwanted thought will disappear. When we prepare ourselves, what will happen? As I am appearing before the court of law, investigation, it happened, or why I should not miss, it causes unnecessary anxiety. The positive things is that I have learned from you great people, you are indulged in a younger person, you are guiding, that is synchronizing ourselves, removed our doubts. First thing comes, how it will happen? Just watching. But now I started from 1st of December, the beginners, I am attending 3 times a day. And the why I have decided, no doubt, trust, believe. And it is a, जैसे हमारे initial में कहते हैं माला, it is a connected with the Almighty. That's antenna, hum TV with the signal, so we synchronize, everything will happen. This is my summary, and kindly guide me so that I can also progress more. And I would like to visit, though I am in North Delhi, there is heavy cold here. I would like to visit, Pyramid Delhi for in the program. So kindly throw out. Have I correctly?
Wonderful, sir. No, wonderful. Well said. Right. So you are aligned completely to the truth. So, in fact, recently I happened to read a book called Yoga, Yoga and Stillness, something related to that. Right. There was an interesting thing in that book, like what you're saying. So we are all that stillness. We are all the peace. We are all the love inside. Right. That is what intelligent. We already have whatever we need to have, whatever we have come here for on this earth plane. Right. Only thing is, due to our thinking, we start blocking that flow of intelligence, the flow of bliss, flow of peace. Right. And through meditation, a lot of other techniques. India is a big land of a lot of spiritual practices. Every spiritual practice ultimately leads us to a point where we realize our stillness inside. And then all magic happens, because magic is already there. Only thing is, we are obstructing that with our thoughts. Every spiritual practice, be it chanting, be it rituals, be it yoga, right, be it dhyana, again, meditation, there are multiple varieties of meditation. All of them reach that state. The goal is to reach that state where you stop yourself. It talks about self 1 and self 2. Self 1 is your ego self, material self, thinking. Self 2 is more your soul, your super conscious mind. So it basically silences, dims the self 1 and allows yourself to shine forth, right? And that Patriji says, be a light within you, right? So be a light unto yourself. So it kind of shines forth. So that's exactly what you spoke about, right? In terms of worrying about what will happen, what will not happen. You just don't worry, things will happen. And that's exactly what I felt, sir. And you are right on. Thanks to your experience and your sharing. Thank you.
One thing I would like to know from you have made reference of, I think, transcendental meditation, etc.
Transcendental meditation, yes.
Transcendental meditation, because you have now you have so comparatively, I think one follow it. Dekhiye, if you follow one thing, that will. So it is, I think that it is at a micro level. That was micro level, and it is macro level. In technical terms, whatever we are doing here, observing thought and proceeding, it is a macro level. Am I right?
Yes. Yeah. So I don't want to differentiate micro and macro level. The objectives are different, right? Transcendental meditation focuses more on the concentration, the attention part of it, whereas mindfulness meditation focuses both attention and awareness, right? So we are aware of our thoughts, we are keep bringing, right? So any mantra chanting focuses more on concentration. So for example, that is what we recommend for students. When students come in, they want to do meditation, improve concentration. What they need is more that one focus. We say focus on one point. So they don't need to be the awareness part of it, because they're not as much programmed as we are, right? So yes, sir, again, multiple varieties of meditation, each of them has its own use. And again, it's up to the people to practice what suits them, right? So this is something that benefited me. I'm continuing to practice. There are something else is beneficial for them. They continue to practice. The ultimate goal is for us to silence our mind, silence the chatter in our mind, and do what our soul has come here to do for.
Okay, thanks, sir, for sharing.
Thank you.
God bless all of you that you are enlightening all of us like a senior person like it. We are not aware of it. Thanks, Patriji and this pyramid validating. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. And yes, I think something that I always say, there are many ways to do it, but I found this is the most simplest form that anybody and anyone can do it, right? There are many things are there, but I found this is very simple, and that's what we share. And Sai, one thing that I really like, and
yeah, go ahead.
So one thing that I really enjoyed, and somebody spoke about spiritual experiences, right? But what I've understood from your experiences, our human experiences are part of our spiritual experiences. We don't differentiate between what we live, how we live, our career, everything separate from a spiritual experience. So you combined everything.
Correct.
And that is what we.
Yes. So as spiritual experiences talk about, every experience that we have is for our learning, right? I mean, in fact, this one again, fantastic book that talks about it. It says, I think it's called your soul's, not the soul's journey, something else. So every disturbance you feel is a learning, right? So if someone tells you something and you feel annoyed, there is a learning for us, right? If something doesn't happen to you, it's a learning for us. So the soul presents itself that way. So, and why does it? I mean, morning I talked about we have an inner purpose and an outer purpose, right? The outer purpose is whatever we are doing at that particular point of time. It can change, but how we do that? What is the outer purpose? But the inner purpose is how we do that. Am I doing it in a sense of less anxiety, zero anxiety? Am I doing it with a sense of courage? I'm doing the sense of trust. I'm doing the sense of empathy. So each of us have different levels. And David Hawkins has this wonderful thing called map of consciousness. And it invariably maps into our chakras at some point. But he says, for example, and then there are scores associated with it. One lifetime, I live a life of fear, right? So then obviously affects our lower chakras. And the next lifetime, when you are presented with a lot of opportunities to take decisions and move on to courage, to exhibit courage, right? And then it could be anything. If you are a teacher, there could be some things where you'll have to step up and take that courageous decision. If you are a computer software professional, if you're a businessman, there will be incidents accordingly. But inside yourself, you are supposed to step up, taking some courageous decision, taking that killer decision, right? So that then you move. So inner purpose is to evolve, and outer purpose is just to explore and then probably experiment, enjoy, like Patriji says. And like you said, yes, spiritual experiences are not separate, and we can't distinguish between this. The whole idea of being in this Prakriti world, being in this Maya world, is to live every game, experience every game. And as part of the experience, apart from our skills, we also evolve inside ourselves as we continue evolve the level of consciousness. That's what David Dawkins talks about it. So yes, the answer is spot on, Rakesh, as you mentioned. Both are together. Spiritual experience is not separate from our day-to-day worldly experience. Both are intertwined.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Sai. Thank you for spending this time, sharing your wisdom. So friends, we'll continue this journey. Come to the 6th day. So tomorrow we'll complete 1 week of this Harmony program. And we'll continue to understand more about the science and benefits of meditation. Thank you, Sai, and thank you, friends. We'll meet back again tomorrow.
Wonderful. Yeah, thank you, Rakesh. Thank you, Buddha CEO team, for this wonderful opportunity to share my learnings and experience. And wishing you, the entire team and all the people, all the best, and continue your 40-day journey in harmony. Hope to see you sometime soon. Thank you.